Hello everyone, my name is Manuel Cruz and welcome to the Unit 3 of the first chapter of Essentials of Sound Design for Games. In this unit, we will talk about the stages of sound design production, some factors of the post-production, and present some Windows software tools. Production and post-production consists of several stages including capture, recording, editing, mixing, and mastering. In Foley's, design can be recorded as the main steps of the video game character. Digital sound editing is the way that the sound is mounted. Digital edition also comes up in the equalization of various sounds and even the control of the volumes of all sound design elements in order to achieve a balanced leveling between different sounds. Finally, is the stage of mastering, which are still set to remove noise and make the final leveling of all sound design elements. Another important factor is the voice recording of the video game character. In recording the vocalizations, initially we make tests with the actor in order to understand what will be toned towards integrating the sound design for the animation. For this, actors are taken to the studio in order to understand which ones have a better tone and at the same time, those who take the best video game character personality. After choosing the most suitable actor, you can now proceed to your recording. There will be recording multiple takes until you find one that the best fits the character expression. Think in this element and answer this question. In voice recording, which indication should we give to the actor who plays the voice of the main character? Soundtrack is another important step in creating good sound design for video game. To create the soundtrack, we need to make a study for the areas where the soundtrack should be inserted. It is intended that the soundtrack gives dynamism to the action while the scene surroundings. The insertions of music, including drum and bass, gives more dynamism to the action, which in turn will create a stronger sense of the interactive factor. The use of loops and samplers are also other elements that can be used in the construction of soundtrack. The reproduction of certain sound loops create good music but can never be used excessively because they become repetitive and uninspiring. In this image you can see an open project in Software Live 8 to create the soundtrack. The phase of the Foley's recording is done in different ways, depending on the type of the sound recording. Depending on the object need to create the sound you want, these may or may not be transported to the studio and be carried out there your recordings. Several factors influence the ability of Foley Recording Studio, such as its physical composition, its size, or its weight, for example. Some elements that are able to record it in the studio is sound closing or metal objects. However, not all Foleys can be recorded in the studio. Given the physical nature of some elements, you must use other capture techniques in different locations. In addition to the Foley recording, you easily can use sound libraries. When we are creating a sound design for a video game, the animatic acts as a reference for the various points where each sound is inserted. Initially, each sound is being put into place, always following as guidance based on the animatic of a video game. The first element to be placed is Foleys, followed by vocalizations, special effects, and noise band respectively. The timing of each sound element with animatic is also made simultaneously with the editing process. Sometimes sounds need to be cut and reduced in order to reconcile with the image, thus being the editing process including synchronization. Editing is something that requires a lot of time. Synchronizations and the construction of the sound line do spend a lot of time, so it is necessary to realize a work how long that will possible have at this stage. Editing process is done jointly with the structuring and synchronization. In Windows, there are several tools that allow you to perform the various actions required to create a sound design. The most used are the object selection, range selection, split, glue, erase, zoom, mute, solo, draw, line, play and stop. There are also many others that are used for various processes needed for sound editing and that allow use it less often also have an important part to work. A widely used tool for editing is Split. This allows you to separate the sound block in 2 or more blocks, depending on what you want. In this way, it is possible to cut such as the Foley steps of the character, for example. The selection tool is another tool widely used in the editing process. This allows a selection of several sound elements, so then an action may be performed in this selected item. In the next unit, we will talk about editing Foleys, voices, special effects and soundtrack with Nuendo.